there guys, gals, and non-binary pals, GM Potter here, and today we will be going over Broken Mirror and Other Stories, an anthology by Jacqueline A. Smith. This is an indie book. It's one that I got at the Dallas Fan Expo in 2021. So my copy, let me get to the page because I'm very proud of this. My copy is signed by the author, and I've also gotten this cute little bookmark from the author that I've used while reading this book and several other books for the channel. The book originally came out in 2019. It has a 5-star rating on Goodreads, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. This is an indie book, so I will be posting a link to the book. It is an affiliate link for Amazon down below. But I'll be posting a link to the book so that you can go and check it out, and let's show the author some love. So the book consists of 8 stories. The first, I'm going to go story by story and tell you what I think of each of them, because I think that's the best way to do this, and then I'll talk about how I feel the book overall as far as themes. So the first one is Broken Mirror, and if I could describe that story in one word, it would be chilling. Like, I was reading it. I love horror. Horror is my safe space. Horror makes me feel warm and fuzzy the way other things make other people feel warm and fuzzy. I love horror, and it feels like a classic ghost story, but there's a deadly twist to it, and it's just chef's kiss perfect. I love it. It was absolutely amazing. No happy ending, but I'm glad it didn't have one. And the second one is Writer's Retreat, which is kind of more of a romancy story. It takes place in the not too distant future, where a group of writers takes a writer's retreat to Mars, and our narrator falls in love with a mechanic on the planet, and it's a very sweet. It has a happy-ish ending. The only thing is, I wanted more. I wanted it to be longer. I wanted it. I just more of everything. So I know you're supposed to always leave your audience wanting more, but in this case it was a little disappointing because I wanted so much more. And I'm hoping in her next one, maybe, because she does come back to stories and environments, so I'm hoping maybe she comes back to this one in her next book. Then we have Water's Edge, which the opening line had me hooked, which was, "I died at sea." I was absolutely hooked. I'm like, okay, this is a ghost story. I love a good ghost story. And it's almost like a slice of life, but from an outsider's perspective. It's this haunting ghost, and she's looking at the town closest to where she died at sea, and there's the lighthouse keeper, and she looks in on him, and the harbor master, and then there's this family that she keeps coming back to where the mother died, and it's just the father and his little girl, and the little girl can see her, and it kind of leaves you with the feeling like maybe that's who she was before she died, was the missing piece in this family. But even if she wasn't, she feels pulled to them, and it just it was so good. It was so good, and nothing is explained, nothing is really gone over, and I think that helped with the story because the character doesn't know much except that she brings fear and loneliness with her, and it's very atmospheric. It gives you that feeling of being ostracized, of being alone, and it absolutely wonderful. I think this one was my favorite story in the book, was Water's Edge. Then we have Lauren, which is a story of infidelity, betrayal, and revenge. Chilling story again, with a deadly twist. I can't really get into much of any of it without giving everything away, so I'm just gonna say you have to read it. You just have to. And then we have An Empty Building, which is kind of a more demonic horror story. So we have this abandoned church where years ago an exorcism went wrong and the little girl died, and demonic possession, and it reminded me of the Stephen King quote from Desperation. God is cruel because sometimes he makes you live. And it was so good. So good. Like I said, I love horror. This book is very horror-esque, and if you like horror, if you like short stories, definitely give this one a shot. Then we have Instinct, which is a high school love story with a supernatural twist. It has an absolutely heartbreaking ending. All of our main characters' hopes and dreams are dashed against the rock, but at the same time, she kind of gets what she thought she wanted. Like, it's kind of a monkey's paw kind of ending, in that you get what you thought you wanted, but it's not what you wanted. Then we have the Kisherlite, I think that's how you say that. It's a sci-fi prison with aliens and politics, and it has a classic black and white Twilight Zone ending. This one, like Writer's Retreat, I just wanted more. Like, but not in an unsatisfied way. I wanted more in that, like, with those good episodes of the Twilight Zone, you want more. You want another episode. You want to come back. You want it to be a two-parter or something, and come back and do more, because you get to the twist and it's like, oh my god. And it's just, it's really good. And this is a good example of leave your audience wanting more. And then we have Crossover, which involves a boy band and a ghost story and a haunting. And this one, she revisits places and characters and things from her two previous books. It's very good. I felt a little out of the loop because I hadn't read her other two books, but I will remedy that. Let me know if you are interested in those. So, all in all over, I would give this a 5-star. There are a couple stories that were not my cup of tea, but they were still well written, they were well edited, they were well crafted. It's just, I can't judge something unfairly if it's created well. And the ones that were done to my taste were done so well to my taste that it's like they were written for me. So this one gets 5 stars. Like I said, indie author. Let's give indie authors some love. It's hard to put your heart and soul out there, so let's do that. Speaking of indie authors, this is a segue. On April 3rd at the Dallas Half Price Books flagship store, I will be doing my own author event. I am an indie author myself, so I will be selling and signing copies of my first 2 books. Also, last night I completed my 3rd book. I'm sending it off to the editor later today, so I have editing, my editor going over it, and then I have beta reading, and then it's done. I feel a million pounds lighter, and I feel like I could cry, and it's just happy making. So anyway, April 3rd at the Half Price Books flagship store. That's a Sunday from 1 to 3. Author event if you're in the area, or if you plan to be in the area. Or if not, Texas is a great place to be despite what's going on in the news. Come by and see me. And have you read Broken Mirror or any of the other books by Jacqueline E. Smith? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!